earlier you mentioned this sound that you wanted to capture. So how far in the process did this sound become apparent, or did this direction of the record become apparent?
Your sound, mate.
It was so when we did the Teach Me demo in our studio, there was already this guitar sound to an extent. I mean, it's the same
combination of pedals.
Same combination of pedals that I used there that I actually used in the studio. But Ian just magnified it. He just added something to it, and
that was
just
in the demo of Teach Me. It was there, and you know, I mean, if you hear the demo of Teach Me, it's very similar to the original. It's just faster, and the sounds are cooler, like the drums and everything. But that sound has always been there, and I think Ian just went, "That's who you are."
But that's
because we had so many songs that didn't sound like that. Took them all to him, and he said, "That is who you are."
Yeah, because I had found this sound without realizing that it is a trademark. And I don't know, well, trademark is a big word, but you know, like a
trademark, just
an essential, just you know, essential part of this album.
Sure.
And but Ian found it, magnified it, and said, "Boys, this is."
But it's, at the end of the day, it is just a guitar sound, so it's not going to be something that we think that it's going to run through all the records for the rest of the time. But it just happens to be that this sound was in Teach Me How to Dance with the demo. Ian said that's a sound that's quite at this moment unique. Let's focus on it. Let's expand it. Let's put it under a microscope and blow it up a bit. And so yeah, it runs through this record quite a bit. That wet, ethereal guitar sound.
And well, maybe I'm jumping too far ahead already, but well, as you mentioned, some of these songs are quite old, but the album hasn't been released yet. But do some of these songs feel old to you?
I think every band, by the time they come to release a record, some songs will feel old. But I mean, it depends. Old's quite a relative thing. I mean, we have songs that are super duper old that didn't make the record. But the difference is with these 11 songs is that I'm more proud of these songs than anything I've ever released, anything I've ever written, and so that they don't feel old because I still love them, you know. And
never, you know, so you have it sometimes with songs that you don't really feel like playing them live anymore, but with these, I still
give it time.
Yeah.
No, but
it'll come.
No, but I mean, you know, we've been dreaming of playing on big stages. Your own, you know, every musician does, playing on a big stage, your own music, and having everybody clapping and singing the songs back to you, and that's happening, and that's been happening now for half a year and through the whole festival season, and that's not going to get old anytime soon. And
if we look now towards the future, then. Because you already had a bunch of sold-out gigs here in the Netherlands without a debut record, and I believe now you've signed in the UK as well. So, are your sights set on a bigger scale, so to say?
I think one eye gently gazing in that direction, but we try to live on a sort of day-by-day basis, because as you know, we're working with a fantastic team in the UK now, but. To get too tied up in that doesn't feel like the right way to think. You know, just we're very happy with the process so far and the direction that it's going, and it continues to go steadily onwards and upwards. And we're just happy that this weekend we got a couple of festivals to play in Holland, and you know, just take it sort of a little bit at a time, I think.
Okay. Finally, then. Who are your own favorite live artists?
I always, well, that's, you know, old stuff, but they're still around. The Chili Peppers, I think, are just an amazing live band, and a band that really, you know, that I've enjoyed through many years.
What is the best memory you had of seeing them perform?
Seeing them perform. I think it's just what they can do so amazingly is be in the moment. Like they improvise still. You know, it's open. It's just those four guys. There's no strings attached. What you see is what you get. And I've seen them play amazing, and I've seen them play really poor. And it's just, and that is really nice to see that actually. There's no safety net. They just go for it, and when they get there, then it's the best thing you've ever seen, and when they don't, then they don't. You know, that's just part of the risk, but they take it. You know, that's really, really brave thing to do and really inspiring.
Where did you see them?
I've seen them at Rock am Ring in Germany, I think. Am I saying that right? Or
I think so.
Well, hopefully we'll see them at Pink Pop this year as well. I don't know if we'll be playing, but I would like to at least go and watch them.
Watch them.
And well, this improvisation that you mentioned, is that something you admire in a sense in terms of what you like to do on stage?
Well, yeah, I admire it in the sense of that you have the musicianship between guys listening to each other, and if one goes this way, the other one follows and doesn't say, nah, it's just like a good conversation, and they're really good at it.
And Rupert, one of your favorite live artists?
Let me think. I'll go for something different. I mean, I still quite like watching stuff that's quite intimate and bare-boned. I'm still kind of a voice guy, you know. I get really, because being a singer, you know, like I really kind of listen to voices and think, man, that's pretty awesome. So like I saw James Vincent McMorrow not long ago. I've seen him a couple of times, but I saw him I think it was in Utrecht a couple of years ago, and that guy can really wail. So I certainly enjoyed watching him play a few times.
And what is it about his music that you strike? Is it just his voice, or?
The guy's got an extraordinary range. So vocally, yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing and pretty impressive. But I mean, for me, he was certainly someone that I'd been listening to in the run-up to our music and our introduction to our music to the world, and I like the way that he's continuing to kind of develop. Like his first record was very organic, all organic instruments, all recorded, I think, and produced by himself in some hut in Scandinavia or something. And his second record became a lot more electronic, but still maintained that haunting, melodic feel that ran through the second record. And I think he got a bit of stick for moving quite as far away from what he did on his first record. But yeah, I mean, I still found it beautiful, and I still listen to that record as well.
And yeah, you mentioned that you are still somebody who likes things bare and listen to the voice. Is that something that, now that you're in a band, is that something you miss on occasion? Just
not at all, because with this band, these guys, I mean, Jan is a jazz guitarist by trade, I suppose. Like, you know, studied jazz and is, you know, can really shred. Simon as well is a jazz drummer. But these guys, like, they know when to shut up. You know, they know that, and that's what we're about. We're as much about what we don't play as what we do play. And if you listen to the album, it's full of space. There's so much times when I'm not singing, where there's space in between the music, and so I find lots of moments in the record where there's plenty of that space for vocals to shine through, and that intimacy. But at the same time, a couple of seconds later, you can be thrown out into the stratosphere with big guitar sounds and big drum sounds, and trying to balance those two things is what we're all about, really.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having us.